For many people, the 808 is a punchy bass known because it has a long decay and also it sounds huge. Now, if you get technical about it, it's called like that because it comes from the kick of the Roland TR-808, which is a drum machine. Originally, it sounded like this. And now we find a lot of different variations, sample packs, presets, whatever you want. You may be asking yourself where I'm going with this. Well, I got a comment on my CR78 video and says the following. Why this and not a drum machine that I can use like an 808, 909, 707, etc. The sounds are so old-fashioned, bossa nova, yeah, no thanks ramps. Honestly, it's a fair opinion. I mean, if you don't like a sound, just don't use it. So this video is not to respond directly to that comment, but I do think this is an interesting topic. Because if you go back to the 808, the original sound, without any processing, was as old as it can get. Same for the 707, the 606, and every other drum machine of the time. But still, thanks to the original sound, we now have a lot of different sounds and a lot of great music. And even beyond that, nowadays a lot of music uses the original samples without any processing. You can find the claps, the cowbell, the congas, anything. So of course it's also about how you mix it with other elements to make music. So anyway, all of this got me thinking if I could use the CR78 for more modern kind of stuff. And I started experimenting. For instance, I used them as the drums for this track. And the thing is, I didn't use any external effects, I just used the ones that come with the CR78. Of course, you can use it for any purpose you want. For instance, here I'm using it as a percussion instrument, but not as the main drums. So it's actually behind the drums. That way I can have some rhythm in the background that goes very well with the rest of the percussive elements and the song on itself. I love to talk to my viewers, that's why I respond every comment that I get on my videos. So if you appreciate that, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a big like. Thank you so much. But of course that's not all. I mean, there's a reason why these and other drum plugins have multiple outputs. So you can use all the effects you want in order to craft your own sound. And I think that's the main point, because the 808 as a bass came to be like that because people started experimenting with it. They added distortion, compression, they even designed their own 808s on synthesizers. And that's exactly what I'm doing here with the CR78, using other effects to see if I can make it more modern. For instance, on the kick I added a lot of saturation and then an expander, but just on the high end to enhance the transient. All of that is followed by a clipper, so I don't go to the red numbers. For the snare I went extremer, I used an OTT to really change the character. And then I used Manta, which is a very useful free plugin, and I'm going to leave a link in the description. It basically creates resonances which you can use to add body to any percussive element, especially kicks and snares. It's based on a Dan Worrell video where we use Percu3 to achieve exactly the same effect. And I'm using a transient shaper because after using Manta, the body became a little bit dull. And on the other layer, without Manta, I'm using a convolution device with a room impulse response, and I modified it to be really short. That adds a little bit more of character and also makes the snare feel a bit bigger. This is the wet signal. And as you can hear, it's very small, it's just a detail, but for me it makes the difference. Finally, I'm using a compressor and a soft clipper to add glue and also to, again, control the transients that can be too loud. And then on the hi-hat, I just put a comb filter and I'm randomizing the cutoff point because the effect sounded cool. And then of course you can apply all of these examples for any other drum machine that you got. I insist, there's a reason on why Cherry Audio added multiple outputs and also effects and post-effects. If you want another example, D16 released not so long ago Nefethon 2, which is an emulation of the 808, but of course it has a lot more features, so you can craft a more modern kind of sound. So in conclusion, any drum machine, or in reality any instrument, is going to be as good as your creativity to use it. And if you still don't like the sound of a specific instrument, just don't buy it. There's nothing wrong with that. But what about you? Let me know in the comments what you think about this topic and also which drum machines you like to use on your production. Thank you so much for watching, I will see you next time, and bye bye.